Hey guys, welcome back and happy Sunday. Today we're going to be doing a yoga focused exercise, and it is going to be focused mostly on our glutes, a nice yoga booty burn, if you will. So of course we are going to be using some full body movements. You're going to feel a little bit of this in your back. We're going to strengthen some back as well as some core, and of course just your lower extremities in general. But every move is designed, of course, to work on those glutes. So they are yoga inspired movements. We're not going to be holding anything, static like we would normally in a yoga flow class, but we are going to be moving through a lot of yoga inspired exercises. It's going to be about 20 minutes of work, 2 minutes for a warm up, and then 2 minutes for a cool down. So about 24 minutes, 22 minutes or so, right around there. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. You don't need any equipment today except for an optional mat if you are on hard floor, either a yoga or a Pilates mat, just something to cushion those knees and those hands. So let's go ahead, get your gear, and let's get started. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started with our warm-up. Let's start with the chair. I'm going to turn sideways. Feet are nice and parallel. Arms are going to come out in line with those shoulders, and I want you to go ahead, slowly take it down like you're sitting back into a chair. We're going to come on up to standing. Give those glutes a little extra squeeze at the top. Great job, guys. Last one here. And let's go ahead, take those legs out nice and wide. We're turned out from our hips. Toes and knees are in opposite corners of the room. Arms come up overhead. We're going to take it down for a goddess squat. Really think about opening those knees up nice and wide. Hello, Emmy. Did you guys see that? That little flash of orange and black? That was the cat. We're going to come on down to the floor here in just a second. We're going to lay down on our backs in a traditional bridge position. Last one. Let's come on down. We're going to go ahead, lay down. Feet are flat on the floor. We're going to lift it up. We're going to hold it up at the top there. Feet are about hip distance apart. We're just going to open and close those knees like a little butterfly, flapping its wings. We're inside 1 minute of our warm-up here, and then we're going to come back up to standing. We're going to start about the first half of our class standing today. Take those legs back to parallel. We're just going to go for a bridge here. Now we're going to lift a little higher than we may traditionally in a traditional glute bridge because it is a yoga bridge, which is more of a shoulder bridge. We're going to keep that tailbone tucked under just a little bit like our tail is between our legs. Give those glutes a little extra squeeze up at the top. Think about really opening up through the front of that body. Doing great, guys. Let's go for one more here. And let's go ahead, come on up to standing. We're going to get started with that 1 whole minute in this chair pose. Arms are going to come out, and we're going to lower ourselves back just like we're sitting into that chair. Weight is in our heels here. We're pressing up through those heels to stand. Knees are not going beyond those toes. You have the option, of course, to keep those hands at heart center. That's a little bit more of a balance challenge, so it is up to you what you want to do. You can also add on little arms coming down to heart center as you lower. Arms come up overhead as you stand. Doing great, guys. We're going to come into a little warrior pose here in just a second. We're going to send that right foot back behind us. Last one. Send that right foot back behind. We're going to open, hips are squared towards me. Back heel is digging back into the floor. We're going to point through that front toe, and we're going to just lower down, press through that heel, stand back up. Again, we have some options for our arms. You can take those arms out nice and long in a traditional warrior two as we lunge down, bringing them back to center as you stand. Arms are always optional, of course, but they do add on a little extra cardio element if that's something you're looking for. From here, we're going to take it into a really deep side lunge. About 15 seconds away. You're going to turn towards me. Both toes are going to square right towards me. Last one here. Press through that heel. All right, hips and toes are squared towards me. We're gonna take it over to that that left side. We're gonna take it low, 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 low. Bring it back up, perfect. Option for those arms, we're gonna come down the heart center as we lower, bringing them by our sides. As we lift, still pressing through that heel. That way I know you're using that glute, not just that quad. Don't let that bossy quad take over, it likes to. Great job, guys. You got a whole minute in each exercise. So really take your time. I want a lot of nice high quality reps. It's not about how many you can do, it's about how good you can make them. Last one here. Feet are gonna stay nice and wide. Let's turn out from those hips and toes just a little bit. We're going back to that goddess squat. Arms are gonna come up overhead. And as you lower down, let's go ahead and cactus those arms. Think about a nice wide chest here. That's helping incorporate a little bit of those back muscles. Using a little more inner thigh here as we lift it lower. Again, giving a little focus on the glutes as you lift, a little extra squeeze up at the top there. Great job, guys. We're about halfway through this exercise. We're gonna hold it nice and low. We're gonna go for a little side-to-side action. Let's go ahead and hold it low on this next one. We're gonna hold it here. Let's go ahead, take those arms out. We're gonna rotate down to the floor. Look down to the floor. We're gonna go side to side. If you need to take those feet a little wider, you can. This one's gonna definitely feel the burn for sure. If you would like to, you can also take your hands to the floor for a little extra balance. But if you want to add on that little core stability challenge, arms come up in line with those shoulders. Keep that core nice and tight. Belly button is sandwiched up to that spine. Nice and engaged. From here, we're going to come into that deep side lunge on the right side. I didn't forget about it. Doing so great, guys. We got about 10 seconds left here. We're going to come on up to standing. Let's go one more. All right, let's bring it up. Turn those toes towards me. Nice deep side lunge. We're going to take it over to the right. Hands are going to come to heart center. Stand yourself up nice and slow. Press through that heel. Great job, guys. We're going to come back to that warrior pose on our right side here in just a second. We're almost done with our standing portion. Good news is you get to come down to the floor after this. In here. All right, let's go ahead, turn to the right. Left heel is gonna dig down into the floor, right toe is pointing forward. We're gonna lunge into that leg nice and deep and press through that heel. Again, options to add on those arms. Or maybe even you wanna hold the arms the whole time. That's gonna add a little bit of a core challenge. You really wanna light up those core. Arms can come up overhead. Great, guys. We're going to come on down into a plank position here to start in just a second. We're going to go for a little lizard tap. I'm going to flip around so you guys can see, but you can stay right where you are. It doesn't matter for you. Last one. All right, we're going to come down to a lizard pose. Hands come down to the floor. We're going to bring that right foot right along the side of our right hand. From here, we're going to take that left foot, we're going to tap it in, Knee comes to your back, about your calf, and we bring it back out. Stay nice and low here. You're gonna feel that burn in your right glute and thigh. Great, guys. Stay nice and low. Got about 20 more seconds here, and we're gonna come into a bow pose. One more. All right, let's go ahead. Lower it down. We're going to lay down on our bellies. We're pressing that pelvis down into the floor, keeping it tucked. Bend those feet, or excuse me, those knees. We're going to reach back, grab those feet, or maybe your ankles with your hands. Lower yourself down. Nice deep breath as you exhale. We're going to lift up just a little bit, lifting that upper body up just a bit, as well as lifting those thighs using those glutes. So we're focusing on those hamstrings and those glutes here, as well as those spinal extensors, strengthening our back and spine as well. We're going to lower our upper body down here in just a second. We're going to focus on just the lower body again. One. All right, hands come to the floor. Heels are going to click together here. Toes and knees are going to come out to the side like you're a little frog. You can rest your forehead down, tuck that pelvis into the floor. Nice deep breath as you exhale. Let's lift those legs up just a little bit. Great job. We're going to come into our lizard tap on the other side here. That's what's coming up next. Keep that pelvis pressed into the floor. That's what's protecting that low back. Forehead is just resting on your hands here, or maybe floating just a bit above. Doing great, guys. About 10 more seconds. We're going to bring ourselves back into that lizard on the left side. Let's go ahead. Put those hands underneath you. Bring yourself up into a plank position. Left foot is going to come around the outside of that left hand. And we're going to tap that right knee in towards our calf and take that long. Keep nice and low on that left leg. I know it's going to feel the burn soon, if not already. You guys are already about halfway through your workout today. Doing great. You've got 15 more seconds. We're going to come onto our knees for a little camel squat. Last one. Go ahead, lower it down onto that right knee. Let's stick that other one back behind. We're going to come into a kneeling position here. We're going to lower the glutes back towards our heels. Bring yourself back up here. We're going to go ahead, arch a little bit, look towards the sky, squeeze those glutes, tuck that pelvis under a bit. And come back down to that seated kneeling position. And bring it up for squat. And great, guys. We're going to come into a seated mermaid position here in just a second. And if this bothers your knees, you're welcome to do either a regular squat, or you can always kind of double up your mat, or whatever it is you're using for cushion on those knees. Awesome here. All right, we're gonna come into a mermaid Z-sit position. So we're gonna take that right heel, and it's gonna go right along next to that right glute. Left foot comes to your right knee here. We have this pretty little Z-sit formation with our legs. Arm is gonna come down to the floor. We're gonna lift this right foot up. It's gonna sweep across. We're gonna come into a traditional seated position on both our glutes. And then it's gonna go ahead and come on back to the Z formation. Perfect. So this is using kind of that side booty area, what we call hip dips. You might have heard them called saddlebags. It's just a different area of your glute muscle, and this really targets it. So we're gonna do this on the other side here in just a second. Doing great, guys. Last one. All right, from here we're gonna take that left foot right along that left glute. Right foot comes to that left knee. We're gonna lean over just a little bit. Extend that left leg out long, and then just go ahead, swing it forward. Sit down on both those glutes. You got it, guys. Doing great. I'm definitely feeling a little shake in those glutes and those legs. I hope you are too. About 30 seconds away. We're gonna go ahead and lower ourselves down, laying on our sides for a little rainbow. More seconds here. I know this one burns. I know. I'm feeling it too. Let's go for one more. All right. Let's go ahead and lower down on that right elbow. We're going to take that top leg out nice and long. We're going to tap it down just a couple inches in front of that bottom. And then we're going to lift it up, arch like a little rainbow, and we're going to tap it down a couple inches behind the bottom leg. Arch up. Doesn't have to be anything crazy like this. We're not going for that whole Jane Fonda 80s thing. In fact, I want you to keep a hand on your hip there and make sure it's staying stacked over your other hip. If you feel it start to dip into your rib cage, you've lifted just a little too high. Great job, guys. We're going to come into a traditional shoulder bridge here in just a second. Rolling onto our backs, knees will be bent, feet flat on the floor. Last one. All right, and let's go ahead and lower it down. Arms are pressed down into the floor by your sides. Nice deep breath, and as you exhale, let's go ahead and lift up, tucking that tush under just a little bit. Lifting up just to about shoulder blade height here. We're going to spend a lot of time in this bridge position. I'm just going to let you know right now up front. We're going to take a pigeon bridge here in just a second. But you are in the home stretch. You only have a few minutes left of hard work, and then we'll take a nice deep stretch. Last one here. Let's lower down. All right, let's take that right ankle. We're gonna cross it over your left knee, just like we would in a king pigeon. From here, we're gonna go ahead, lift up for a little one-sided glute bridge, and lower back down. This is a lot of hard work, a lot of pelvic and core stability is necessary here to make sure that that glute isn't dipping down on that right side. Hips are staying nice and level and lifted. You can keep your hands on your hips here, kind of sassy like I'm doing, just to make sure that you're not losing that control. Now we're gonna hit the other side in a little bit, but first I'm gonna give you a little break before we hit that other leg. We're gonna go for some butterflies, just like we did in the warm-up. Go ahead, untangle those legs, We're gonna bring them back to parallel. Lift yourself on up nice and high here. We're gonna stay nice and lifted. And we're gonna open and close those knees just like the butterfly flapping its wings. Now your feet are staying nice and flat here. We're not rocking towards the insides or outsides of our arches. We're just bending from the ankles. Keep those glutes nice and high and lifted. Don't let them fall down. 30 more seconds, and we're gonna go ahead and take that king pigeon bridge on the other side. I know it's burning. I'm feeling it too. You got 10 more seconds. Let's go ahead, lower it down, take a little break here. Let's cross that left ankle over that right knee. Hands are on our hips to watch that stability. Nice deep breath and exhale. Go ahead, lift it on up into that bridge. You got it, guys. We're gonna go ahead and roll over onto our sides one more time. We're gonna hit that rainbow on the other side. I'm gonna flip around here so you guys can still see me. But at home, you can go ahead and just flip right around to your side. I'll let you know what's going on. All right, let's untangle those legs. Come on down to your side. We're gonna rest on that elbow. Top leg is gonna dip down just a couple inches in front of that bottom one. Arch it up for your rainbow and dip down just a couple inches behind. Again, you got that hand on your top hip, watching that hip stability. Make sure it's not dipping up into your rib cage. You are inside your last minute of hard work. We're just gonna take a couple minutes after this to do a nice deep yoga stretch. Great job, guys. You're 15 seconds away. We're going to roll forward into a plank position so that we can take a nice pigeon stretch. Last one here. All right, let's go ahead. Come on down to those hands. Lift yourself up into plank. You're going to take that right knee forward. Right shin's going to come parallel with the front of your mat. Left knee comes down. And we're going to go ahead and fold ourselves over that right shin just as far as feels comfortable. You can stay up on your hands. You can come down to your elbows, or maybe you can even come down all the way to the floor here. Just a nice stretch through that hip and that glute. One more nice deep breath here. Let's come on up to our hands. We're going to curl that left toe underneath. Lift yourself up into plank. Right foot is going to swing around next to your right foot, just like in our lizard pose. And we're going to lower that left knee down. And again, you can stay on your hands, elbows, or come all the way down to the floor. Nice stretch through that hip as well as through the quad on the other side. Nice deep breaths here. Go ahead and walk yourself back on up to your hands. Let's curl that toe under, lift that knee, take that leg back behind us, and we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Just coming first into pigeon, lowering yourself down as far as feels comfortable. Doing great, guys. We're going to hit that lizard on the other side one more time, and then you are free to go about your day. Go ahead, coming up to our hands, we're going to curl that toe under. Left foot is going to swing around next to your left hand. Lower that right knee down. And again, come down as far as feels comfortable, opening out through that hip. All right, let's go ahead, walk ourselves up onto those hands. You can bring that leg back behind you. Bring yourself into a seated position. And you are all done. Thank you so much, you guys. Great job today. I hope that you enjoyed this little yoga booty burn. If you did, of course, please go ahead, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. I appreciate you so much. Without you, I would not be here. So again, I will see you guys next Sunday. Have a great rest of your week.